It's a nice sniff just before I went to record. It's Matt and Josh from Still Comics. DC News of the Week. We've been off for a bit. Josh was away.
I was in Vegas.
City of Sin. But now
I didn't
back,
sin, though.
So you 100% did.
Nuh-uh.
You told me what your alcohol bill was. That's a sin.
Couple $100. It's all right.
Anyways, so we'll be covering a couple articles that might be a bit older, but we want to talk about it anyways. First, Jason Aaron, who finished at Marvel, his contract up with Marvel, is going back to DC. Yes. He will be writing a couple of issues of Action Comics. DC's announced a new initiative centered around the Man of Steel. Superman Superstars will take place in Action Comics series throughout 2024, with former Marvel flagship writer Jason Aaron, as well as Dawn of DC architect and current writer of the Erroneous Superman series, Joshua Williamson, each taking a turn on the title. So I guess they'll be switching back and forth. Is this what's suggesting?
That's kind of what it sounds like.
Jason Aaron will be joined by artist John Timms on a 3-issue story titled I, Bizarro, running in Action Comics 1061 to 1063. About the storyline, Jason Aaron shared in a statement provided by DC Comics, "The amazing John Timms and I are doing our very best to give readers a Superman tale full of action, surprises, and the most Bizarro of all Bizarro stories, in what Bizarro himself would call the worst Bizarro story ever told."
It's good.
The news that Aaron, whose Marvel work has included extensive runs on Wolverine, the X-Men, Avengers, and a career-defining multi-title stint on Thor, will take over DC's original superhero title, follows the announcement in August that he was returning to DC after more than a decade to write a Batman miniseries titled Batman Offworld. In April, Aaron and Timms will hand the reins to Joshua Williamson and Rafa Sandoval for a story that will cross over with Williamson's ongoing Superman series and fully bring Brainiac back to the DCU after months of teases about the return of the iconic villain. Williamson shared, "We've been building to Brainiac's epic return since Superman 1 and the start of Dawn of DC. This crossover will have massive ramifications, not just for Superman, but across all of the DC universe. Plus, it's a fun roller coaster ride with Superman, Lex Luthor, Lobo, Supergirl, and the Super Family up against Brainiac and a Sarzanian army."
Damn.
I have a preview here of
that looks kind of nice.
Small. Oh, there's Bizarro. Oh, there's also Bizarro.
Wow.
There's another Bizarro. That could be looks like a really cool cover, actually.
Yeah, that's dope.
Same.
Oh wow.
Too. That's
okay.
Very suggestive.
Just a tiny bit. They really had to put the red cape a little bit coming out from the bottom of her leg there, eh?
Yeah,
Makes it look real. Okay.
Another looks like cover. Some sketches.
Yep.
Like another cover. And maybe a wraparound. Like that.
That's not bad.
Yeah. Okay. So John Constantine came close to being a Max TV series a long time ago. HBO
by our
Max
favorite person, JJ.
HBO gave J.J. Abrams a ton of money to develop Justice League Dark, like a dark DC TV universe.
Yeah.
It was last year that we learned of plans for Keanu Reeves to reprise the role of DC Comics Hellblazer in a sequel to 2005's Constantine. Since then, a great deal has changed at Warner Brothers with the formation of DC Studios, leaving many to wonder if the follow-up will be scrapped. Before the announcement, Star Wars Rise of Skywalker director J.J. Abrams and Bad Robot Productions were said to be developing a slate of Justice League Dark-related projects. First up was a Constantine series with plans for Zatanna, Deadman. I really would have liked to see the Deadman one. Swamp Thing, and more rumored also to be in place before the supernatural heroes eventually assembled as a team. Very much sounded like what Marvel did with the Defenders. According to Variety, the new show had been far enough into development that a lead actor was already in talks to take on the lead role, but sources confirmed to Variety that the Max project is dead. 4 scripts were written for the series, which was set in contemporary London. We've heard Sophie Deriziu was being lined up to play Constantine, marking the first time a non-white actor had portrayed this character on screen. Sounds like the TV show got pretty far in development, though it's unclear what's become of Abrams' overall deal with Warner Brothers. Nothing much ever materialized from it, and it's apparent DC Studios won't be resurrecting any of the filmmakers' ideas, as James Mangold has been tapped to helm a Swamp Thing movie. In a recent interview, Francis Lawrence, who helmed the 2005 Constantine movie, offered an update on the project, confirming there's currently no script. Quote, so Constantine 2 obviously got held up by the writer's strike. We had to jump through a bunch of hurdles to get control of the character again because other people had control of the Vertigo stuff. We have control. Keanu and Akiva Goldsman and I have been in meetings and have been hashing out what we think the story is going to be. There's more meetings of those that have to happen. The script has to be written. Really hoping we get to do Constantine 2 and make it a real rated R version of it.
Yep.
That's interesting that
nice.
they still somehow got the rights, even though DC owns Vertigo now. Well, that's defunct mostly, but
I'm interested to see like what took place. Like I'm assuming that it was a quick and easy deal.
I wonder if Vertigo, before they got bought, carved out the rights to on-screen characters. When did that happen?
Maybe. No, Raj, that coffee isn't for you.
So
it's not for cats.
Down Vertigo in 2019.
Wow, it feels longer than that.
Oh, so sorry. Vertigo was an imprint of DC Comics that in '93. But then they closed it down in 2019. DC Vertigo were replaced by age labels: DC Kids, DC, and DC Black Label. So I wonder how the rights to that work then for the first Constantine versus. Interesting. Yeah, so I guess we're getting a Constantine 2, whether that will be included in the new DCU. I mean, you would think James Gunn would want a huge, massive star like Keanu Reeves to be included in that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also someone who's beloved playing that character.
Okay, so here's a question for you. Thinking back on my Rolodex of all these episodes we've done, because there's just so much quality. And
we're all about quality here. We're recording this twice. Go ahead.
Couldn't we sorry. I'm trying to remember if I actually mentioned this idea when we were talking about Keanu coming back.
Right.
Because there was so much talk about a different story, different whatever, and then it was going to be not the guy that did the first show.
Oh, the CW show.
Yeah, it was going to be a new guy.
Right.
And then after that, they talked about getting Keanu back, and I'm wondering if they're going to be, I don't know. I feel like they might just cash in and have Keanu as an older Constantine.
Sure.
They hire the new guy. They rock that bad boy for whatever amount of time, and then they, give a moment for old Keanu to have some time to shine. Not like a whole movie, but
you mean
I'm thinking,
they do like a multiverse thing and recast him later, or?
Well, I meant like in the terms of, because with Justice League Dark hopping through, different dimensions and different whatever, they come across him or whatever, and they help out. Yeah, in the terms of like a Keaton situation in the Flash.
Oh yeah, or Clooney.
or Clooney, yeah, or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh man, they should have the nipples popping through the shirt, eh?
Oh my god,
that would have been dope.
Okay. Also,
anyway, I think I called it.
Max
That's what I say. I think I called it. Just saying.
Green Lantern Warner Brothers reportedly likes the idea of casting Channing Tatum as Hal Jordan. We know that Nathan Fillion will play Green Lantern Guy Gardner in Superman Legacy with that terrible haircut. But what about the original cosmic ring slinging hero? Hal Jordan is set to appear in James Gunn's upcoming reboot, as far as we know. The character will debut in the planned Green Lantern Max series alongside Jon Stewart. We now have a minor update on the A-lister Warner Brothers could be eyeing for this. I mean, as much as I, loved Channing Tatum, is he an A-lister?
Mm-hmm.
He is.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know that he has the star power of. Is he getting $20 million a film?
No.
Back in July, a rumor did the rounds that Channing Tatum may be set to star in an upcoming DC project, and Jeff Snyder speculated that it might be the Green Lantern series. On this week's episode, which was last week's episode, actually October 13th, episode of Hot Mic Podcast, Snyder and co-host John Rocha said he had heard Warner Brothers like the idea of Tatum playing Hal Jordan. It's obviously far from any kind of confirmation that the Free Guy actor is in talks for this particular character, but if he is indeed up for a DC role, it seems like a strong possibility. The Max Green Lantern series has undergone quite a few changes since it was first announced. The show was originally going to play over multiple time periods, with Finn Wittrock on board as Guy Gardner for the 80s setting, and Jeremy Irvine as Alan Scott for the 40s setting. Simon Baz and Jessica Cruz, and a new alien lantern named Bree Jarta were also going to be featured.
That'd
Game
be
of
cool.
Thrones alum Tobias Menzies, also Brutus from HBO's Rome, was rumored to be in the talks to play Thal Sinestro, but this was never confirmed. He always plays, you know what? One of my friends were talking about Tobias Menzies at one point. So he's almost always plays a bad guy.
Yeah.
So like in Outlander, he's a villain. In Rome, personally, I think Brutus is a villain in Rome. HBO's Rome. And in Game of Thrones. So, yeah. However, this premise was later rejigged with the focus shifting to Jordan, and Jon Stewart, Wittrock, and Irvin are no longer attached. Yeah, so we all know what Hal Jordan does. That new Green Lantern series from the dawn of DC has been pretty good. I haven't read issue 4 yet, but the first 3 have been good.
Nice.
Yeah, so maybe I'll take a cue from that. Although it kind of takes place like Jordan. Anyways, I don't want to spoil it.
That's okay.
Yeah, so that was DC News of the Week, and here's an ad for you.
Your new multi-vendor marketplace, YouSellComics.com, offers a site exclusively for buying and selling of all things comics. Slabs, omnis, trades, and more. Sell for as low as 5% commission or 0 commission monthly tiers. Run your own auctions, unlimited bin listings. YouSellComics.com. Buy, collect,